What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So, Waffle House, they have made a move when it comes to the cost of eggs. And I want to talk a little bit about this because this will impact anyone who goes to the Waffle House. And so if you go to the Waffle House, you're going to want to watch this video. And this is not just the Waffle House. Other restaurants are going to follow suit. I'm sure they're going to follow suit. And so that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Now, this is something that I thought we would actually see. I thought we would see it even sooner. But you know the cost of eggs is going up. And Waffle House is placing a surcharge on every egg it sells. On every egg it sells. And so I've never been to Waffle House. I haven't spent too much time in the South. And I think it's in the South, right? You guys let me know in the comments below. But yeah, never been to Waffle House. But look what they're doing here. So what they're going to do, it says the Georgia-based chain is adding a 50-cent charge per egg because of the nationwide rise in the cost of eggs. And so you have to be living under a rock to not realize that the price of eggs has really gone up. I mean, it's crazy. I live in California, and I went to, and I'll show you guys a video. I actually went to my local grocery store. And my local grocery store, you know, is pretty reasonable. It's not expensive. There's some grocery stores that are more expensive than others. I don't shop at the grocery store that's the most expensive or even more expensive. It's kind of middle of the road. But I walked in there, and luckily I already bought eggs. I go to a local farmer to get my eggs. But I was curious. I wanted to know how much eggs were at the grocery store. So I go over there. The eggs are $9.99 for a dozen. $9.99 for a dozen. And if you want to get the organic dozen, it's like $12.99. And so the cheapest that I saw on the shelves was like $8.99. $8.99. And so, yes, this is going to have a major impact. This is going to, and what's interesting here is they're just saying per egg. So basically, let's say, I think the average, and they talk about it on here, I think the average price of a dozen eggs right now is somewhere in the neighborhood of $4. So $4.15. That was in December of 2024. Obviously, that's probably going to go up a little bit higher. And so let's just say it's around $5. Now, if the Waffle House is charging you 50 cents per egg, that's equivalent to $6 for a dozen eggs, right? And so realistically, they are, I mean, of course, they charge you for the cost of food items, but they are pretty much negating the cost of eggs for them, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So 50 cents at $6. So let's say they go out and they buy a carton, or, you know, they don't buy a dozen eggs, they buy bulk. So they're probably getting even a better deal. I'm sure they're getting a better deal. But let's just say that they go and they buy a dozen eggs, and they bring those eggs back to the Waffle House, and they start making food, and they say, okay, well, the cost of eggs, we're charging you 50 cents for each egg. Well, they're actually making a profit on that, but they're in the business of making a profit. So I understand that. But the bottom line is, yes, we are in a situation right now where we're starting to see restaurants do this. We'll probably see more restaurants do the same thing. And then even going a step further, if you just look at the menu here, of course, you have eggs, not just scrambled eggs and fried eggs, but you have eggs in a lot of the products. You have eggs in bread. You have eggs in the waffles. You have eggs in a lot of different things. And so are they going to hike up the price of some of those items as well as a result of this? Now, it does say they have it. I don't know if that's a little sticker or what, but you see that in the middle. And so it says here, temporary surcharge, 50 cents per egg. Due to the nationwide rise in the cost of eggs, we've added a temporary 50 cents per egg surcharge. Thank you for understanding. And so that's what they have. And I imagine they have that on every menu. When will they bring the price back down? I guess when the price of eggs goes back down. But I have never seen eggs this expensive. Even a couple years ago, we had bird flu, and I think every year there's a bird flu, but a couple years ago it was bad. Back in 2022, it was a bad bird flu. I think in 2014, we also had a severe case of bird flu. And so during those times, we saw egg prices go up, but it never went over $5. Now, average, I'm talking average overall. But right now, and I've never, in California, I've never seen egg prices at $9.99 for a dozen eggs. I've never seen that. I've seen it at $6, I've seen it at $7, but I've never seen it at $9. And so I don't know what we're going to see in the future. I don't know when this situation is going to resolve itself, and basically what's going to happen is they had to, I think they say culling is what they call it, where they dispose of the birds that have the flu, and then they have to, they need more hens. And so now you have young hens that aren't laying eggs yet, so you have to wait for those hens to mature, and then they'll start laying eggs. And so there's a whole process there. And then they also have to, they have to spend money on just the culling, and then getting everything back to normal, I guess is the easiest way to say it. And so in order for them to do all of that stuff, that costs a lot of money. And so they're going to pass that cost on to the consumer as well, because it costs them money to handle the bird flu situation. So I don't know. I don't know when egg prices are going to go down, but I do know that eggs are in a lot of things. And so just as a result of that, we're going to be paying more. You could put tariffs aside, put all this other stuff that you're hearing out there, the whole deportations and all that, put all of that stuff aside. We're going to be paying more just as a result of the bird flu, just as a result of that. And then when you start looking at some of these other things that are going on, I don't know what's going to happen in 2 or 3 months. I mean, the prices of things in 2 or 3 months are just going to skyrocket, because we have all these other little things, deportations. We have people who work in the fields. They're not working in the fields. Even if they haven't been deported, they're not working in the fields because they're in fear of being deported. And so you have farmers with produce that's just sitting there, and it's going to rot. And we're going to have a shortage of produce, which is going to drive the price up. And I'd like to say, things are getting better, the prices are going to go down and all this, but that's not the reality. That's not what we're looking at. So I want to know what you guys think about this. One thing I want you guys to put in the comments, let me know if you've gone to your grocery store lately. Let me know how much a dozen eggs costs at your grocery store. If you guys have any other questions, post it down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.